The research chamber aboard the Galactic Archive station buzzed with quiet anticipation. Dozens of alien scholars, scaled, furred, feathered, crystalline, huddled around the central hologram where glowing symbols drifted like fireflies suspended in amber. The language had been discovered carved into a monolithic ruin orbiting a dying star. Carbon dating placed it at 10,000 Earth years old, predating every known interstellar civilization. It had no translation, no pattern, no known route. To the galaxy, it was a miracle. To the humans on the station, it was a curiosity. To Elias Carter, it was familiar. He stood behind the crowd of alien researchers, hands in his pockets, watching the hologram rotate. Every scholar in the chamber had spent months studying the symbols, comparing shapes, deriving root forms, trying to decipher what species or ancient empire had created the script. The chief linguist, Dr. Vyarkesh, a mantis-like being with shimmering blue chitin, addressed the room. Esteemed colleagues, today we attempt preliminary pronunciation modeling. This language, if indeed it is a language, remains entirely undeciphered. Our computations suggest no similarity to any known galactic family. Elias frowned. I think you have the characters upside down. The entire room froze. Dozens of alien eyes blinked at him. Vyarkesh clicked in confusion. Human Elias Carter, you are not assigned to this project. You are an engineer, are you not? What makes you think? It's not upside down, one of the feathered scholars asked, rotating the hologram. Elias shook his head. No, see, right there. That symbol. That's not a glyph. It's a decorative top curve. The main structure is beneath it. Vyarkesh bristled. And how, pray tell, do you know this? Elias shrugged. Because my grandmother used to carve these into wood. Silence slammed into the room like an airlock door. Vyarkesh stared at him as if he had sprouted antennae. Human. Are you claiming your family has prior knowledge of a 10,000-year-old script from a forgotten civilization? Elias rubbed the back of his neck. Well, yeah. She called it Proto-Thammunic. Said our ancestors used it before recorded history. She taught it to me when I was a kid. The hologram expanded, and the symbols shone brighter. Elias pointed casually. That one means home. That one means danger. And, oh. That one's just a swear word. The aliens collectively recoiled. You can read it, a crystalline scholar whispered. Mostly. Grandma said I wasn't very disciplined. He tilted his head. But yeah. It's basically an old Earth root language. Humans forgot it. But she had old carvings passed down through generations. But this predates all your known civilizations, Vyarkesh said, mandibles trembling. Humans did not have spaceflight then. They were not even unified as a species. How could your ancestors have carved this script in a structure orbiting a dead star? Elias whistled low. Okay, that's new. Grandma's stories never mentioned orbital ruins. The aliens looked at one another, horrified. A reptilian scholar hissed, is humanity older than we believed? Elias considered the thought, then gave a soft laugh. Nah. Humans aren't ancient galactic titans or anything. We're just, complicated. But this language. He cut in gently. It's a root tongue. Something primal. Something carried through oral tradition. We humans pass stories down, even if we forget their origin. Sometimes the stories remain even when civilization changes 100 times. The scholars were struck silent. Elias stepped forward, hand hovering over the glowing symbols. These messages aren't technical. They're emotional. He traced one curve. This one says we survived the dark. Another one, our children will walk where we could not. The chamber's lights dimmed as the system recognized the translated intent. The hologram expanded into a full panel of glyphs, now glowing in warm gold, as if awakened by recognition. "It's a farewell," Elias whispered. "A message left by a people who knew they were dying." Aliens bowed their heads. Vyrkesh gazed at Elias with something close to reverence. "Human Elias Carter, how is it your species remembers what all others have forgotten?" Elias smiled faintly. "Humans don't remember everything. But we're stubborn about holding on to hope, even when we forget the language it was written in." "And the origin?" another scholar asked. "Who wrote these symbols? Did your species encounter them long ago?" Elias looked at the glowing ancient words, echoes of a civilization lost, and felt a quiet shiver. "I don't know," he said honestly. "But if they left this message, maybe they wanted someone like us to find it." The symbols pulsed once, as if in agreement. Across the station, alarms chimed softly, new data emerging from the ruin. Vyrkesh whispered, "Then perhaps your ancestors were not the first humans in the galaxy." Elias smiled grimly. "Or maybe, we were meant to follow someone's footsteps." As the ancient language lit up the room, every alien realized the same truth. Humans were not mysterious. They were inevitable.